here with... Oh, they're starting to wreck! Around goes Grendel right in front of the pack!
Oh boy. Yeah, that one was totally avoidable. And yeah, just misjudges.
Number 40, but looks like it won't happen. He's trying to split the middle. They're wrecking! Oh no! They're all wrecking!
Everybody!
And great job of... Oh, contact with the net code is gonna cause a big pile
Big
up.
crap!
Oh my god! Oh!
Welcome everybody back here live tonight for iSCAR Week 6 out of 20, getting set to go kick it off here at Homestead, Miami Speedway, as we are now halfway through this ARCA season. Only 10 races rather than 20 like the normal other series are, but here tonight, crossing into our now halfway session, halfway through the season now, points are starting to become a huge factor in here for tonight, as we're going to go ahead and log in as 60 lap race for this Miami 90 lap, not 90 lap, but 90 mile event. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Homestead implies the existence of a wasted.
We'll go ahead and pull up the fastest 20 here on the left side of the screen as drivers get themselves situated here for tonight. But otherwise than that, Christopher Wild at number 41, the man who leads points only by just over 2 over Parker White, because he had a very abysmal New Hampshire race. That's why that gap went from just about 20 points now to 2 points. So for Christopher Wild, he needs another solid race here for tonight. He cannot wreck.
Yeah, Chris has been caught up in quite a few incidents that were not of his doing across all the different series, and as a result, you mentioned his points lead starting to wither away, and you see the man in 19th place, Hunter Johnson. Of course, he's still way back in the points. I don't think he has enough to get to the points lead before the season's over, but he won last week at New Hampshire, so he's our defending series winner and gains 23 spots in the points in the process. The asterisk next to Corey Long's name indicates that that driver is suspended for tonight's event, so you will not see the 93 car on track tonight. But yeah, Parker had an interesting race last week too. Ended up flipping across the line to finish the race, but still gained on Chris nonetheless. And with only 5 races to go, including tonight, this championship battle shaping up to be a pretty good one.
That is correct, and that number 41 is the fastest as of right now, but we'll see if he could top the charts coming qualifying time and coming race time as well. Drivers taking their final stints around the racetrack, as we're going to go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side, play the national anthem. So rise out, remember hats as we salute our nation's colors. We welcome everybody back here live for the Homestead Miami race here for round number 6 out of 10 for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series. Currently under qualifying conditions as of right now. Drivers taking their fastest two around the racetrack. Here for the Bronze Series, we do not have any LCQ type event for drivers to get cut off and stuff. So everybody as of right now in this session will be one of our racers here for tonight.
Yeah, it looks like we have exactly 43 that have showed up, so none of that tonight is necessary. And an interesting note, of course, excluding the Super Late Model Series, which will follow up this one starting in January, this is the only one of the top 4 series here in iSCAR that will not end the season at Homestead. Rather, this series will end at Talladega. So, I mean, of course the cars are super different, but perhaps people could maybe take some notes from this race and try to apply it when it comes to championship time in April.
Yeah, I'm interested to see on how
In March.
those drivers will shuffle around here at Homestead. Homestead is a very, very wide racetrack, and it provides a lot of racing room as well. So, for all these drivers right now, they could take experience from this vehicle and apply it either to the truck, the Cup car, the Xfinity car, and such as.
Ooh.
Oh, looks like my hand got a bit
Yikes.
loose right up off the corner into the wall he goes, but luckily it wouldn't really affect him since, you know, he's still gonna race here for tonight.
Yeah, my hand came into tonight third in points, though, so he can't really afford to have a bad night, because if he does, it might knock him, maybe not out of the championship hunt, but it'll make the hill he has to climb much steeper.
Yep,
And you
that's
see
right.
Hunter Johnston now first in qualifying. He's qualified ahead of Christopher Weil. Mentioned earlier that he won last week in New Hampshire, so that 12 car trying to go 2 in a row here in the Yost Auto Sales Series ahead of Chris, who of course won at Daytona to open up the entire Winter Series, sans the shootout. So the top 2 right now are the 2 of the best cars that we've seen so far this season. Mulrooney's picked up a couple wins in various series. Dominic Howe has done the same. Cody Webster, quite a few competitive guys we usually see towards the top in this top 10. But my eyes on that 21 of Carson Poindexter. He's come so close so many times to winning a race. And I ask yet again, will tonight be the night?
Yeah, that is to be answered here as drivers take their final chance to log in 2 laps here for this evening. Again, we'll
There's
pull
Michael
up
Kenner.
points. But yeah,
At
there's
14,
Kenner.
he's not going to make it around.
Pull up points again. Everybody within the top 5 is within at least 20 points of this of your leader, Christopher Weil. Again, Christopher did not have a good showing at Homestead. I mean, at New Hampshire, but luckily not a lot of people showed up for that race. Here for tonight, a full field though. So if you do wreck, 43 points, 43 potential points go down the drain. So,
And that's not including any bonuses as well.
that's right.
So we'll get our starting lineup here for tonight. At Homestead, Hunter Johnson, last week's Yost Auto Sales Series winner, takes the pole here for tonight. And Daytona winner Christopher Weil and the points leader will start outside pole.
Round number 2, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. in that number 2 machine. Parker White 095. Again, one to watch here as well as we progress with the night.
Dominic Howe, good run for him in qualifying in 5th. And Dylan Simmons, one of the iSCAR rookies here in the Winter Series, nice run for him in 6th.
Round number 4 going to consist of Cody Webster in the number 9. He was our last winner here in the ARCA Series at Homestead. He starts himself in 7th place. Carson Poindexter in that number 21, again, has come so close round after round. Watch out for that number 21 here for tonight.
And rounding out your top 10, Joe Burgee, good qualifying run for him tonight. And Thomas Litt, another one of our rookies, nice run for him. Rest of the order will scroll on the bottom of your screen. Pick who you want to win and hope they do well and stay out of trouble, because you never know. There could be a lot of it. There may not be a lot of it. Will remain to be seen. But it's a pretty good field we have tonight. And there's quite a few people that are able to, or contenders that are not starting towards the front.
Yep, that is right. You see some other drivers. Jackson Menchie will not be participating here for the evening. He is suspended, unfortunately. All the way toward the back, Scott Yost, our series sponsor, Max Yerrick, Henry Clappert, Bachman, Tyler Connors, and rounding out the field, Henry Tabor in the number 16. Race analytics can be shown on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. Welcome to Homestead Miami Speedway, a 1.5 mile oval. Elevation just 3 feet above sea level. Time of day, though, look at that, at noon. So for all these drivers, they got to be careful on how they drive this track as well. 50 miles per hour is pit road, 2 extra sets to be ran, and 45 to 50 lap window, so these drivers will have to pit at least once.
Saw in that most recent camera shot, it looks like quite a few people are going to decide to start on the pit lane, including Joe Burgee, and looks like 3 or 4 other people towards the back, so they will try to stay out of harm's way here to begin the night. And you see that track temperature, 122 degrees to start this race, and that means that this track is going to be really, really slick. So these guys have to be really careful when they're racing, because they might end up getting a lot looser than they want to. So it may not surprise me if we see some early incidents of people trying to get used to the track conditions.
Yep, that is right. And the pace car will scoot itself down onto pit road. Hunter Johnson, the man who won at New Hampshire last week, will kick the field to the green flag. Back at Homestead, up and away here for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series, round number 6, as the field works itself 2x2 into 1.
I saw one car go down to the apron across the finish line. I think he's going to go to the back and try to stay out of the way of... Oh, and we already have a wreck in the middle of turn 2. Peter Kenny, and that is Mark Frimpong in the 53. So we mentioned it. It did not take long for a wreck to happen. And looks like 3 or 4 cars already with some damage.
Peter has had an abysmal season.
Ooh, Nick Miller, too.
Yeah, Miller got caught up in it as well. I'm curious to... Oh, man.
Whoa!
I'm not sure. That is a custom number car, actually. I actually enabled custom numbers, so... Well,
I was going to say, that might be Mullen. Because I think Mullen ran that scheme last week.
Not sure, though.
I believe he ran that car at New Hampshire with a 17 on it. So once these schemes load up again, we'll be able to figure out who was who. But you saw he got a good jump on the start, but then you're going to take it 4 wide here into 1, and that's just not much by way of spatial awareness there by that mystery DuPont car. Yeah, that's way too early in the race to make a move like that on literally turn 1 of lap 1.
Sure who it is. These schemes are still loading up. Looks like it was Max Brady in the 157. Who was the...
That sounded like him. But, man, since Peter won the Daytona 250, his luck has been absolutely abysmal. I mean, that win's been pretty much the lone highlight of Peter's season so far. So hopefully that 19 can get things turned around soon, because it has not looked pretty for him over the last couple of weeks. So we'll get ourselves situated here again to go back green probably in 2 or 3 laps. And those people that pit road started will probably get their way to the tail end next time by. Looks like Mitch Hobbs, one of those that pit started.
Yeah, for all these drivers who pit started, they're trapped behind the pace car, so they can't really go back on the pit road or such like that. They're going to have to take the wave around once we get the 1 to go. Looks like. Get another replay at what happened.
Yeah, now they got the schemes loaded up. Yeah, whoever that was got such a huge jump on the start and went all the way down to the bottom and then just absolutely ran out of room and just ran some people over.
Yeah, that will be a restart violation for the 157, most likely, laying back the restart in.
Yeah, that's just Max Brady is indeed the guilty party here. And it looks like Pierre, I think, got the worst of that. I believe he got some air when he hit the wall. We gotta look here.
I mean, now that I look at it, Peter also made contact with Miller. So I wouldn't fully blame that on Max Brady, but Max did jump the restart, so he'll get a penalty either way.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that that may have still been an incident even if Max didn't jump to start, but that obviously didn't help anything. So, of course, the order should be almost exactly the same as it was when the race started, since we've literally had no time at all to actually have people pass each other. So Hunter, of course, has led all 3 laps run so far, all of which under the yellow flag. And again, those 3 cars at the front will go by the pace car here in a moment. So they'll start to double up here. We've gotten the 1 to go signal. Nick's trying to beat the pace car off pit road. Hopefully he does.
Yeah, it's Miller all the way down to the low side. I think Noah Allison actually just spun it.
He might have. Whoops.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yep.
Oh, I sort of saved it.
Though.
Well, that just tells you how slick the track is right now.
Yeah, just getting up to speed, but thankfully that did not add another lap to the caution. So Johnson, Weil, Mulrooney, Howe, and Parker White will be your top 5 for the restart. So it's been a couple of position changes, but not too many. Hopefully we can get a solid green run here starting this time by to see who really stands out among the pack.
Johnson will scoot himself down on the pit road. Christopher Weil in that number 41 is looking for a better finish this time by. He'll need a better one as he's trying to beat out the 095 of Parker White in points as well. Pace car is in. Green flag is out. Hunter Johnson with a big jump over the 41. And they go rolling into 1. And this time, Johnson pulls by a couple of car lengths over that number 41. A Wow, who's trying to come down on Mulrooney, decides not to. He'll run the middle lane. Now drop himself down to the bottom side.
They'll make their way out of 2 for the first time, and side by side right behind that 41. Oh no, 2 cars go around!
That's Poindexter.
Carson Poindexter hard into the inside wall.
I don't think that's going to be a caution. They did fly to the...
There were two other cars that were involved. You see the other skid marks there, and Carson's destroyed.
Yeah, and looks like that's not going to be a caution. And if an Adwin were to call a caution, it would be way too late to call one. So that's unfortunate for them, but I'm really curious why they wrecked it coming in, like, in the middle of the straightaway, most likely.
Yeah, Carson got the wall, and then him and somebody else just went straight down to the inside, and I think one other car ended up towards the access road, but that's a really tough break for that 21 who's been so good the last couple weeks, but just can't quite seem to get himself into victory lane. He's going to have to wait a couple more days to try again, unfortunately.
This in turn really spread out the field. We have packs of 4 and 3 roaming around the racetrack, but look how wide these people are. Maybe some of them right up against the barrier, some of them all the way down to the low side. This is the cool thing about the ARCA machines. The ARCA cars are set up in a way in which it's really hard to get tight. So all matters about corner speed and, I mean, straightaway speed. Oh! The 86 of Dominic Howe is dead sideways right up off the corner, but we'll keep it straight. And we'll battle out with a 55 at Garner, but on the meantime
Top
of
2
that,
breaking away a bit.
That's right.
Yeah, that 12 and the 41 have been 2 of the best cars on the track, regardless of what series they've run in, and that is no different tonight. As you see there, almost a second up on Mulrooney and the rest of the field in the early going. So I was mentioning before, if we got a solid green run to see who starts to stand out, looks like those front row sitters for the start of the race are the 2 that stand out so far.
Look at the 12 just step out off the center of the corner off of 1. That just tells you how sideways they are and how minimal grip is here on Homestead, especially in these conditions. The 41, Christopher Weil, he wants to pressure that number 12 into a mistake, but of course you don't want to drive your tires off getting to that number 12. So right now, that 41 of Christopher Weil, he's sort of multi-managing on his own, the race in front of him and his tires. It's a 6 of Max York, by the way, right up against the outside. Looks like he'll go 1 lap down.
Yeah, Max was one of those that was involved in that turn 1, lap 1 incident, so unfortunately he's going to have a long night on getting out of other people's way at this point. You see how damaged that 6 car is. And here comes Chris looking for the lead underneath the 12. And I thought they were going to be side by side, but Hunter got a good run out of turn 4. But Chris will have another shot here into 1. And I think he's got it here.
New leader, Christopher Weil, on that number 41. He's already picked up a win this season, but it all happened at Daytona. That 41 has yet to return to victory lane in this series, but right now he's leading the race.
Yeah, and we saw on Chris's onboard a few laps ago how much Hunter kept stepping out. That's probably really doing a number on his his right rear tire, which probably is it's probably contributing to him sliding back just a little bit. And you see Mulrooney and the rest of these guys, they're starting to catch these top 2. So perhaps those top 2 may have used more of their tires than these rest of the top 10 did, as that gap is slowly starting to shrink. So watch out for this 2 and the 9 in the next few laps if they can get themselves to the lead perhaps.
Grindle works himself to the underside of the 09 of Colton Zimmer. That is for 8th spot. Harry edges ahead, but looks like he gets loose right above the corner. Not going to go anywhere. Going to have to slide in or maybe try again at 1. And some other people toward the back. Brianna Lavin, the 63 of Thomas Lloyd. Nick and Delicato also trying to get into the mix as well. There's Dallas Myhan. We were just mentioning him. And Garrett Hessen, the 777.
And Delicato's been another one of those guys that's been really good, especially in the truck series. He's already picked up a couple of wins in the early going. That 10 car, another one of those that no matter where what car it is and where he shows up, always going to compete for the win. So that 10 car is one I'm going to watch as tonight goes on.
Weil works himself into 1. Looks like he's pulled himself by 4/10 over that number 12 machine of Hunter Johnson. Aaron Mulrooney, and that number 2 also trying to follow in the mix. Look at the 9 of Webster. He's being a bit ambiguous of that higher side. He's going to try to carry the momentum down the straightaways and maybe hopefully catch that 095 of Parker White. The only problem is using that high side does use a bit more tires since you're running more asphalt right up against the safety barrier. So you want to use the high side when it's right, especially when in your I guess that high side should only be used while battling somebody, maybe for a defensive line or something like that. But for the 9 of Webster, he's using it to maybe catch the 095 at Parker White.
Yeah, of course, differing strategies. That's one of the cool things about Homestead is that it provides a more unique multi-groove racing than perhaps any other 1.5-mile track that we go to at all in iSCAR. And of course, it's the only one that's really not shaped like a D. This is more of a traditional, I guess, oval,
right.
I guess. I don't know. But
all right, man,
it's definitely the more unique than, as we do have a caution, Blaze Crawford in the 404 has gone around here out of turn 4. So that will be caution number 2 of the night.
And this is pretty huge because honestly, the way these drivers are running, that's our first self-spin of the day, but the way these drivers are running, it's just very, very loose out on the racetrack, and we're 1/3 the way through the race. So for Blaze, for Blaze Crawford, he has to pit.
Oh, someone got the wall trying to miss him right there out of 4.
That was the 72 of Blake Kennedy.
Wouldn't surprise me if we see some people come down for their first of 2 tire sets available to them. As you just mentioned, we're 1/3 of the way through. So perhaps a good opportunity to maybe split the run here and slap some new tires on. Because it wouldn't surprise me if some guys stay out for the track position, but new tires make a huge difference here.
Yeah, that's right. And I expect a lot of drivers to hit pit road. And the next set, I guess you could see there's 2 strategies here. You want to either Use the tires when you're a third of the way through a race. I mean, through the run. Oh, Johnson stays out, so he wants to play the gamble on saving his tires as well as Webster.
And Webster.
Wow, a lot of people are splitting the strategy.
Quite a few people staying out, actually. Looks like maybe at least 10 cars, including our pole sitter tonight. So Chris will lead the cars coming down, and once the ticker refreshes, we'll get you all of the people that decided to stay themselves out. And someone just went around on the pit road entrance.
Max Brady.
Rough night for him so far.
That's right.
Looks like some two-tire calls, perhaps, unless those were lapped vehicles.
I think some people actually wanted to go for fuel. Down on the pit road they go, and this is honestly a really good strategy for all those drivers just to take on fuel only. You'll save a tire set, you'll get track position, as well as you don't have to pit. This fuel window is only like 45, 50 laps. For all these drivers who stayed out, they probably need a caution sometime later, because you could only stretch the fuel to around, like, I'd say 45, 50 laps. So for all these drivers who stayed out, they're gonna have to pit at least one more time. But for all those drivers who hit pit road and just topped out, they're going to be in good position, but of course they're going to have to duke it out with all those drivers who did take tires, and the first one with tires is Christopher Wild at number 41.
And we'll see where he is going to end up on the restart, as the ticker ends up changing right as I was going to look at it. So it looks like 9 people stayed out. So it looks like that'll put the 41 in 12th. He got beat out by Sartaj Mon and Parker White, the man trying to get the points lead away from Chris. So perhaps those may have been the 2 people that maybe they took 2 rather than fuel only.
Parker looks like a fuel only stop, as well as Sartaj. So there's only 2 drivers who did go with fuel only. The reason I say that is
yeah, and we saw Chris take tires.
Yeah.
So
83, Bergie, he hit pit. I mean, he's pit started, and as well as 69, Frankie Angelis, he too pit started. So I'm interested to see on how Wild will work himself through the people right in front of him. I'm sure he's gonna weave himself through cleanly, hopefully.
It's going to be tough, because it could be entirely possible that we could get a couple of restart wrecks here. I mean, that's not unprecedented, but
That's
something
right.
you have to keep in mind as you try to get yourself towards the front. Could be a deal where maybe he gets boxed in and can't go anywhere, and maybe uses up his tires trying to get by some of these people that stayed out. There's a whole host of different things you have to try to consider when you go to drive through the field like that. And if you're Chris, you know you're fast, and you've been fast the last couple weeks, and we've seen what's happened to him. You know, take Richmond, for example, when he led a good chunk of the early portion of the Xfinity race and got caught up in a wreck behind people that had stayed out just like this. So I'm sure that's probably in the back of his mind as he prepares to take the restart here. But we'll see how it all shakes out shortly.
Yeah, that's right. There's a risk factor, of course, staying yourself out on the racetrack. For the 41 of Christopher Wild, he has to work himself through cleanly and, of course, efficiently as well. You want to be clean so you have no damage, and efficient so you could use the tires to your advantage. But we'll have to see once the pace car does scoot itself onto pit road. Hunter Johnson in the number 12, your pole sitter, alongside the number 9 of Cody Webster, who won last year's race, will lead the field to the green. Proximity is 1 and 2, and an independent in 3rd. Green flag.
Green flag.
Mentioned in Delicato a few moments ago, he's now up into 5th, one of those that stayed out on older tires. We'll see what he can do on the restart. Looks like Mulrooney already gotten by Weil in the 41, so that too got a good restart. Mulrooney's going to be one to watch as this race goes on as well. Was only in 3rd before that yellow came out, but we'll see how he and Chris both get themselves through this field. And here comes Dominic looking for 2nd.
Oh, looks like he got a bit tight. Webster actually had to wash up right up off the corner, so
He might get the wall.
Oh, look how many cars are sideways. 3 wide all the way down to the bottom side is Nick and Delicato, but he'll
Here goes Mulrooney.
funnel it back down to 2 wide, but the caution does come out. Looks like it's a wreck toward the back.
Ooh.
Miller involved in it again, as well as Peter Kenny.
And Peter.
That's Noah
And
Allison.
who's that other car? Second wreck of the night for Miller and Kenny, so not the start of the race they were looking for, and we'll see what happened here. So Noah, we know Noah's probably too loose, and we saw him spin trying to get caught up, and there it is again.
Yeah, he got loose. I mean, he had it sort of saved. I wouldn't say saved. He was about to go around in the 404 of, I think that's Blaze Crawford.
Tough break for...
Hit him right there.
Oh, nowhere to go for Miller, nowhere to go for Kenny. And Dylan Simmons, who started this race in 6th, the rookie that started highest in the field, gets clobbered in that wreck, and his night's probably over, as well as the 19. So tough break for all 3 of these guys towards the back. So it looks like Chris only gained 1 or 2 spots off the restart, so we'll have to try again here. But we'll see how many people decide to pit this time and how many decide to stay out again.
This is beneficial for all these drivers for them to get out on the racetrack, but looks like Webster, he wants to work himself on the pit road. Never mind that, he works himself right.
Everybody decides to, except for 1 car.
Yeah, it looks like it just follows the leader. Whatever the leader's strategy is sort of the lead duck out of everybody.
Looks like DeAngelis was the first car that came down. So that'll put Chris up a spot, so he's now up 2 since the last caution. Oh, and someone just hit the barrels.
That's
and it wouldn't shock me if that was on purpose. We'll have to see who that was, but I have a feeling that was probably intentional. Oh, yeah, it was.
That was Noah Allison, by the way.
Yeah. So that'll be that's all she wrote for the O24 tonight.
For Hunter Johnson, Cody Webster, Dominic Howe, Nick and Delicato, all these drivers who saved themselves out are going to be able to save at least 1 set. Getting reports of Peter Kenny having a 582-hour penalty. Oh my gosh.
Oh, what?
582-hour penalty.
Okay. That has got to be a new not even an iSCAR record. That has to be an iRacing record.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Is that 582 hours or minutes?
That's
it's hours. Oh my.
It's hours. Oh, that's hilarious.
That is peak 2020 for Peter Kenny right there. We mentioned how terrible his luck has been, and according to Brian Mullen, who has just done some quick math, that is the equivalent of 24 days. So Peter's gonna be there for a while.
Just wait it out. No worries.
It'll be almost Christmas before his penalty's over.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
that is too funny.
Boy.
I have never seen that on iRacing ever.
Leave it to 2020 to give us stuff we've never seen before.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, well, given that information, Peter's definitely done for the night.
No doubt about it.
And again, probably done till Christmas, but so we'll get ourselves situated here to go back green. 3rd caution of the night just coming out for Noah Allison and a couple of other people. Hunter Johnson won the pole for tonight's race, has led almost all of the laps. currently staying out on older tires as well as the first couple people behind him. And you've got to go back to Aaron Mulrooney in 9th for the first car on fresher tires. So we mentioned it during the previous caution. How will these guys approach getting through the field by these guys that don't have as fresh tires as they do? So here's that, but again.
Coming up to the halfway point, Johnson will be able to save a bit of fuel as well. I do expect that number 12 to hit pit road just sometime. The question is that pit road gonna offset him enough to prevent him from winning this race? Pace car is in. Proximity 1 and 2 will lead the field in green.
Not a good start for Dominic there in the 86 right behind Hunter. And that's going to allow Webster to maybe clear into 1. Not quite. Mulrooney's wasting no time at all trying to get by these cars with older tires. That's Brian 11 in the 71 and Brody Gardner. He's already gotten by both of them. So quick work for the 2. And here comes Dominic into 3 trying to get second away from Cody Webster, with Indelicato, Zimmer, and Kenna right behind.
Yeah, for Cody Webster in that 9, he's holding up the 10 of Indelicato, and Indelicato's really boxed in. He's trying to take it 3 wide into 1, but Webster, being smart with his decisions, will cut off the 86 and get tight! He washes up the racetrack, and that will split 2nd and 3rd as they are just about 3 wide or off of turn number 2.
And that allows Mulrooney to make a move to the bottom side. Looks like he's going to get Kenner here into 3, and he might get Dominic as well. But a nice job by Indelicato to cross over that 86 and not end up being held behind him.
Oh,
and this is a hornet's nest out of turn 4.
That's right. The man who got the best of that is that number 10 of Indelicato, who's trying to gun for this second position, but Mulrooney actually just moved the 10 out of the way. Mulrooney got number 2. Worked himself to the bottom side. Webster got loose as well, so this is all benefits to that number 2, Mulrooney, who's going to work himself into 2nd place.
Yeah, and look at Weil right behind. He's trying to get back up there as well. Looking underneath Indelicato, who's going to go save it, and Dominic saves it. Oh! Nice job, Dominic. Oh, he almost had it. Watch out.
Oh, that's William.
Caution. Oh. Man, what a nail-biter that one was. And that'll be caution number 4. Thankfully, nobody else hit that 86, but I thought he had that one. That was...
Yeah, that's a trend that we've seen in the ARCA cars. It's very hard to save this, these cars. And not Mulrooney, but William Schmidt.
That might be one of the best avoidances of the Winter Series so far. That was close.
Play out in slow motion, it might mimic the Matrix, but
yeah, we got Keanu Reeves over here in the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales series.
This will give the opportunity for the 12 to maybe hit pit road, and because he saw those cars on newer tires right behind and starting to work themselves to the field. But there was 2 cars sideways off the corner, the 10 of Indelicato and the 86 of Dominic Halbut. For Dominic, oh jeez.
Yeah, and I'm sure Dominic's going to definitely hit pit road now, because that right there was partially a product of those older tires. So Mulrooney's now up to 2nd. Brody currently 3rd. Chris got up to 4th as well. Webster sits in 5th. So we'll see who pits and who stays out. And it looks like Hunter will finally relinquish the lead here. And that will give the lead to Mulrooney for the first time tonight. And it looks like everybody on older tires is going to join Hunter on the pit lane.
All those drivers who stayed out did pit on that first wave of pit stops. But they'll stay themselves out and shuffle to the front. That would be the 2, the 55, the 41, the 777, the 70, the 41, 63. 105. So for all those drivers with their stint on 14, they're gonna have track position here for this upcoming restart.
Interesting opportunity here for Dallas Myhan in the 041. You see he's on the same tire strategy as the cars in front of him are. mentioned earlier tonight, he came in third in the points, only I believe 8 behind Chris, who's that pink car right in front. So this could be a chance for Dallas to maybe chip away a little bit at the gap between himself and that 41. And with Parker White further back in the field, I'm not actually sure where he is right now. Maybe Dallas could overtake second in points tonight if he gets a good enough finish where he is now.
I'm not really sure on Wild's situation. For a while, I think the only real threat for him to lose points is all those drivers with fresher tires right behind, as here comes the second wave back onto pit road. But for all those drivers who are on fresher tires right behind, we'll pull up the stint panel yet again. He has a potential to lose at least, I'd say, all the way back down to 12th or 13th, but he has there's a big cushion between himself and those cars who just came off the pit road. So for the 12 of Hunter Johnson, he has to work himself all the way back from 15th. And you also have just some drivers who hit pit road 10 laps ago who are also in this mix as well. The 69, Frank DeAngelis, William Schmidt in the number 79, the 16, Henry Tabor. So that's just more traffic for these drivers on newer tires to navigate through.
And it shows how many strategies Homestead gives us, but with the people that just pit, that should put everybody in the field good on fuel to the end of the race. So fuel should no longer be an issue for anybody. But I'm curious though, you mentioned Hunter starting in 15th, so now he's in the same boat that Aaron and Chris were in earlier, where they were around 12th or so and had to work their way back up. Obviously aided by people pitting and the cautions we've had. But if this thing goes green to the end, Hunter's going to have an interesting time getting himself back up there.
Yeah, that's right. I think everybody still has at least one more set to strategize with. It's just a matter of how these cautions will play out to their favor. If we do have a long run and a caution comes out late, I'm sure everybody will hit pit road and take on their final set. But if a caution comes out in about 10 laps or so, that'll be around that lap, I'd say lap 45, and that'll leave us with 15 laps to go. So if you want to pit around that time, if a caution comes out around that time, you'll have 15 laps to hopefully survive on track position. And for those drivers who want to hit pit road at that time, 15 laps to use your tires up to get yourself into that front.
So we'll go green here with 25 to go, so we're past the halfway point of the race. Pace car will get out of the way here. And we are back underway.
That inside line checked up a lot. Hunter Johnson, that number 12, is going to split it 3 wide through Blaze Crawford and Kevin White Jr. But up front, it's all the two of Mulrooney as they're side by side for second place. Brody Gardner in the 55, the 41 of Christopher Wild duke it out for position. Also side by side right behind, looks like that's Harry Grindle in the number 70 alongside the 69 of DeAngelis. But I'm sure everybody will try to file themselves in line, and hopefully those cars right behind on fresher tires won't really have a chance to get up into this mix, as Hunter nearly got into that car on the high side, and look at all those cars loose right up off of 4.
Yeah, Parker White almost spun it right there, but thankfully for him, he saved it. That could have been big for his title hopes if he happened to spin there. And I forgot that Brody was on the same tires that that Mulrooney and Chris are on. So Brody, another guy we probably have to watch here as this race goes on. And here he goes looking for the race lead. Wouldn't be the first time that he's won this season if he does pull it off. Of course, he won at Lucas Oil. So that 55 definitely one to keep an eye on.
Rooney did a nice job of pinching through 3 and 4. He left a lane open for Brody, but Brody couldn't really go anywhere. He got stalled down to the bottom side. You have to stay yourself above the seam here at Homestead. There's about 2 or 3 lanes of racing. The bottom is not one of them. You got to stay yourself around where Mulrooney is to really have a lot of speed through the corner. But Brody washes up the racetrack. It'll open up the door for the 41 a while. They go side by side for a second.
Oh,
Shot
crash
on the back!
Hunter! Oh no, that's Sartage, but what a hit
Caution is out.
that he just took from the 71
Oh,
of
they're
Livin,
still
and they're
piling
still piling in. Blake Kennedy, Urich. Who's underneath the 71?
That's Scott Yost.
Is that Yost? Yeah, I thought that was Hunter at first, because I think him and Sartage are running the exact same scheme, but that is in fact the 49, and how did this all start? So Urich was around on his own farther back.
Well, the 10,
Okay, so...
I mean, not the 10, the 16. Henry Tabor got in the wall, but right in front of him.
Oh,
Ow.
nowhere for the 71 to go. Yikes. And here comes Blake Kennedy right there, and Scott with nowhere to go. And that is a mess. But there was contact between Kenner and Sartage as well. And I don't know if that had anything to do with Tabor getting the wall. But, I think Kenner ended up getting the inside wall. Yeah, right here, I think Kenner just got right into the 49, and around they both went.
Yeah, I think Sartage was sort of eyeing the number 16 of Tabor, and hopefully Tabor, and hope for Tabor to stay up on the wall. Indeed, he did. But for the 49, he got hit by the 14 because he was lower than Kenner was lower than anticipated. I mean, not Kenner, but Sartage was lower than what Kenner anticipated. And that in turn just caused I guess a chain reaction right there. But man, the big hits there on the front straightaway.
That was such a weird way that the 16 went up into the wall like that. Wonder if that was a hardware issue for him, but he just flew straight up the track into the wall.
Oh, he might have gotten sideways.
Perhaps. And he just ended up right in the wall. Perhaps some wall glue there, and he ends up passing all the cars that ended up wrecking in front of him. Just right in the wall. So that'll probably still be quite a bit of damage he'll have to come in and repair. And here's an onboard of Yost, and
Yeah, he couldn't really see anything. He was right behind the 72 of Blake Kennedy, and Blake was already trying to slow down. I think he would have hit the 71 anyway.
Probably.
Even if Scott wasn't there, but that brings the caution down, and this is huge.
That was an interesting one.
This is huge for the drivers who stayed out, because it seems as though those drivers on newer tires can't really work themselves through the field. They're sort of boxed in.
So it looks like everyone's going to stay out, and at this point of the race with only 20 laps to go, that's completely understandable. So Hunter got from 15th only up to 12th, so in that stint only gained 3 spots, so he still has to gain 11 more over the last, what's probably going to be 17 laps. Not out of the question, we've seen him do it before, but can those top 11 hold him off? And will Mulrooney even keep the lead, or will he get passed before this is over?
Yeah, Gardner seemed as though he was a bit faster than that number 2, but I'm not sure if the 55 has a long run speed to really compete. But for right now, he's putting a lot of pressure on Mulrooney for this top spot. So for Mulrooney, what looks like a win secure in the bag versus the 12 has now opened up the door for Brody Gardner to attack him. He's doing a nice job as of right now.
Yeah, Mulrooney's led the last 10 laps, got it after Hunter pit for the first time tonight. Started himself in 3rd, so he's been up there all night, besides the little stint where he's behind the ones that stayed out. So the 2 definitely one of the best cars on the track throughout the duration of the race. Brody started himself down in 13th, so he's gotten himself up there. Chris, of course, started in 2nd next to Hunter. Led a decent chunk of laps. Garrett Hess, I'm not sure where he started. Looks like 19th. So perhaps an opportunity here for him to get his first top 5 of the bronze season. Frank DeAngelis there in 5th, started in 30th, so perhaps at the hard charger, at least in this top 10. Dallas Myhan came into tonight 3rd in points, trying to improve on that and chop down some of Chris's points lead.
Alright, we'll go green here with 17 laps to go, and if we do get a solid green flag running, I expect the next caution for these drivers to strategize around, but here we go. iSCAR will scoot itself left. We'll go up and away at Homestead. Yet again, the two Mulrooney trying to fend out the 55 and 41 for this
Green.
restart. We're back up and away as a bit of tire spin there by the 55 of Brody Garner as he tries to get himself up to speed. Allows the two Mulrooney to clear and pull himself away by a few car lengths over those two right behind. We're duking it out for second.
Almost some contact there. I think that was between Thomas Wood and Hunter Johnson in the middle of turn 2. But this could get interesting here into turn 3. There's a whole bunch of cars that are super close to each other. And if I'm Hunter, I might be a bit concerned right now because you're around guys that have older tires than you do. So this is going to shake out in an interesting way, and I don't know if it's going to benefit that 12.
Watch Hunter here coming into 1. I expect that high side to maybe kick
Oh,
it. Oh, he gets tapped by
there he
line.
goes.
He'll save the car, but the 9 goes around.
Oh,
now
no,
Hunter
he
goes
goes
around, and we will have a big pile up.
White. Parker White gets collected, and Hunter just got hit again. He may have just gone upside down. I'm not sure. Latham Joyner's got some front-end damage. Burgie's in that. Parker White, 2nd in points coming into tonight's race. And that's exactly what I feared, is that something was going to happen to 1, and it was going to end up collecting Hunter. So we'll get a look and see what happened here, but the pole sitter on the wrong end of that. Ooh, Thomas got tight, I think.
Well, it's more like Hunter tried to arc it into
Webster in that, too.
Arc it into the corner, and
Ooh, there's Parker
oh,
and
Dominic.
Oh,
Latham
nowhere
Joyner.
for Latham to go. So that's going to hit Parker in the points, depending on how much damage that ends up being. But yeah, I think the 63 just got tight in the turn, and Hunter almost had it saved, but then lost it the second time, and collects Dominic and Parker, and there goes Latham. Ooh, and who's that to hit Burgie?
It's like Henry Tabor.
Rough night for him now.
Yeah, this is the risk factor that comes with taking tires. You got to work yourself through a lot of cars.
We got to see Brian Mullins on board here. Mullen missed this entire thing. This car is all over the place, all around him. We got to get an onboard of this 17 because that was really impressive. That's him in the Pepsi Superman car. We got to look here. So they're almost 4 wide in front of him as they're wrecking. They all go around, and he says, nope, I am going to miss all of this and get myself into the top 15. What a job.
Oh, looks like 41, Christopher Weil, Mulrooney hits pit road. So they're all taking now their second set. And I'm very surprised about that because you didn't run a lot of laps on that second set. I expected a lot of more people to stay out, and this in turn has really switched the strategy. It branched out the strategy even further. So we have some new drivers working themselves into the mix. The 79 of William Schmidt, now your leader. The 89 Mitch Hobbs. 17 of Brian C. Mullen. Looks like the 9 of Webster. He too stayed out. Even though
Webster
he has a
just
bit of damage,
spun too.
Yeah, I'm curious about
so
Webster.
His tires are going to be super old and worn because he literally just spun as part of that caution. So I don't know how long he'll be able to keep himself up there. Colton Zimmer, David Bachman, Blaze Crawford, Kevin White, Michael Kenner, some of those that also stayed out. So this just flips the entire top 10 on its head. So we'll have to see where Chris ends up now. Looks like 12th. Looks like Dylan Simmons also staying up, but he's got damage from an earlier incident. So now Chris is going to be in the same spot that Hunter was just in, but will that 41 end up encountering the same fate that Hunter did?
I don't know. They're in the same position.
Wouldn't be the first time that William could potentially win a race like this. We've seen it before. Mitch Hobbs has yet to win an iSCAR race outside of, I believe, the Super Speedway Series.
No, he hasn't ever been in victory
Oh no, he
lane.
won the Super Speedway Championship.
Yeah, he won the championship, but didn't even win a race.
Well, that in itself is kind of impressive. Mullen, if he's won, hasn't in a very, very long time.
Yeah, he's only won a couple of races, I think. He won once at Irwindale in the late model series. Blackbird has never been in victory lane. We've seen Schmidt in victory lane a lot of times. Webster, of course, he's the ARCA champion. He's been in victory lane already this season. Colton Zimmer, David Bachman, Blaze Crawford, Kevin White Jr., Dylan Simmons. None of them.
You got to go back to
victory lane.
Mulrooney to. Yeah, well, besides William, you've got to go in Mullen and Webster. You got to go all the way back to Mulrooney and Weil to find two, guys that have won quite a bit, and they also happen to be the two cars that have the freshest tires on the racetrack. So we're gonna go green here with 11 laps to go. Can Chris and Aaron get back up there, or will they end up potentially getting wrecked like Hunter just did?
I've never seen these faces inside this top 10 till now, so I think the 41 of Christopher Weil will easily swamp these people. It's just a matter of how you're going to set your car up right through the corner and get yourself around cleanly through this entire top 10. But if a lot of cautions come out, that's going to be bad news for that 41. He won't have a lot of racing room to work himself inside this top 10. But here we go. William Schmidt, Mitch Hobbs, Brian Mullen will lead it to the green.
Here we go.
Oh, there you go. That's your caution.
On the inside. Mulrooney, one of those that's going to go around, and oh no! And gets hit by Kennedy. Huge hit for Simmons and Thomas Lloyd. And we have an absolute mess on the front stretch. And we just saw it again. One of those dominant cars of the night ends up getting collected in a wreck behind people that stayed out. Yikes.
And this is beneficial for all those drivers who stayed themselves out. This is why I thought staying out was the best strategy. I'm not sure why all these drivers hit pit road. We've always see these races coming down to the end with a lot of cautions.
Oh. Man,
Here's
that
one
hit
of them.
So I think the 147 may have been the culprit here, just did not go. Oh, nowhere for Blake Kennedy to go, who happened to get hit from behind earlier in the race as well. But man, Thomas Lloyd really clobbered somebody on the bottom side. We'll have to get another look.
Oh, looks like Bachman just didn't get going, and that sort of checked up Kevin White. And Mulrooney flew up the racetrack and got clobbered by the 72.
Yeah, and there's the hit by Lloyd. That was on Dylan Simmons in the 24, who also had hit the inside wall. Frimpong also went around. Looks like Myhan got a piece of that. There were a couple other people, I think, also collected. Parker White may have gotten a piece of that, or maybe just slowed down. Yeah, Dylan Simmons has not had a very good night, to say the least. That's the second big wreck he's been in, and this one's probably going to be the end of the night for him. Yeah, there's Parker just totally stopped. Like, I'm going to wait for all of you guys to get yourselves going before I even consider going through this wreck. Carson's still going somehow. He missed this one.
But this will only give, like, at least 5 or 4 laps for these drivers to really make something happen with those fresh tires. But I'm not sure. We might see another restart wreck, and after that, what was 5 laps on what was now a 5 to go restart, or 6 to go restart, turns into a green-white checkered.
So Mulrooney's probably out of the picture now in terms of winning. Chris got up to 8th, though. Even though that was a restart wreck, he still managed to gain 3 or 4 spots from the people that spun. So he's got to make up, looks like, 7 spots in as many laps. So, of course, an average of that's a position per lap that Chris needs to get. Not out of the question with everybody in front of him on older tires, but I think at this point in the race that somebody that stayed out on those older tires, I think somebody in this top 7 is going to win it tonight.
Yeah, especially if this thing does have another caution inside of this 8-lap window.
Oh, for sure.
This is just
another yellow.
So beneficial for all these drivers who stayed out. Again, I'm just very surprised that a lot of drivers took on their second set rather than taking the track position, because there was going to be a lot of cautions toward the end of the race, and not a lot of people strategized around that except for all these people who stayed out. So beneficial to William Schmidt, Mitch Hobbs, Cody Webster, Henry Clapper, Colton Zimmer, David Bachman, Blaze Crawford, Michael Kenner, all those drivers who stayed themselves out. But for a while, he's sort of sandwiched between all these drivers with older tires. He might get stalled trying to work himself through all these not all these lap cars, but all these drivers with older tires. So for a while, you have to play your cards right and work yourself around all these drivers cleanly.
And another reminder as well, we're going to go green with probably 6 to go. So another caution after this would put us into green-white checker territory. And of course, those are 2-lap stints at the most. And if we have a caution on the third one, if we get there, the field, I believe, would be frozen at the time of the caution. So William Schmidt, Mitch Hobbs, Brian Mullen, Cody Webster, Henry Clappert, Colton Zimmer, David Bachman, Christopher Weil, Michael Kenner, and Blaze Crawford are going to be your top 10 for the restart. Schmidt, Mullen, Webster, and Weil have won races. The other 6 all yet to visit victory lane here. So will we get a first-time winner tonight? We shall see.
iSCAR will scoot itself onto pit road, and we'll kick it out with just 6 laps remaining. William Schmidt trying to upset this race and work himself back into victory lane. He has a chance, though, but he'll have to hold off a hard-charging 89 of Mitch Hobbs, who has yet to visit victory lane, as well as the 17 of Brian C. Mullen, who has yet to visit victory lane in a while. Here we go. iSCAR will hit pit road. It's just a matter of when the 79 will go, and he goes now.
Green, green, green.
Mitch got a good start, too.
That's right. I'm surprised how good of a restart Mitch Hobbs had. Look
Whoa,
at right
a
behind.
big
That's
block.
Brody Gardner all the way to the apron.
4 wide behind them. They were 4 wide going into turn 1. They may have just not actually wrecked somehow.
Cannot believe nobody wrecked. Mitch is going to
I'm
try
sure
the inside, though.
I'm sure Brody's not going to be too happy about that block from Blaze Crawford, though. That was spicy.
William
and
washes
to
up
the
the
race
racetrack.
lead, and Mitch is going to clear William Schmidt. So put that 89 to victory lane with just 5 laps to go. That 89 has never won here in iSCAR, but trying to make it win number 1 here tonight. And here comes Chris trying to slowly start to pick spots off as Blaze gets loose. That 41 now up in the 5th.
Webster's trying to spoil this top 2 as he's sort of right behind. This might be a 3-way battle for this top spot. Car on the wall right behind, but look at the separation between this top 3.
Whoa!
I don't think Chris is going to have any...
Oh, Mitch got loose. And that's going to put William back to the lead.
William back to the lead.
I can't believe Webster's tires are holding up that well considering he spun on this same set of tires.
Schmidt wiggled.
And now he's going to look for the lead. And now Mitch is coming back again on the bottom.
Looking right behind. Here comes Mullen. He'll have 3 laps to maybe make a shot for this top spot.
Wild to 4th. Just out of camera shot.
Oh,
Webster
Webster sideways.
Whoa!
What a slide job.
Side by side at the line. 3 laps to go. And William retakes the lead again. And now Mitch is going to try for second.
3-way battle here for this. No, make it a 4-way battle as Wild gets the mix.
Chris may get there before this is over. This could be really close. And here comes Mitch. He's going to try for second again.
Oh, this
And
is
side
what
by
William
side-
needs to see in his mirror for them to be side by side for that second spot.
2 to go. Webster holds on to second for now. But look at Chris. He's on the bumper of Mitch Hobbs now. We've got a 4-car battle here for the lead. Chris has to let up a little bit because Mitch got a bad entry to turn 1.
Oh,
and now
William also got a bad entry into 1 as well.
Here goes Webster. And now
2 by
Chris is
2.
beneath. Yeah, Chris looking for third down underneath Mitch. Who is going to come out with this thing? Here comes Chris. He got a great entry to turn 3. He might get second out of turn 4. But to the white flag, Cody Webster's going to lead it, and Mitch is going to save it. Nice job. And the 3 wide behind them.
What Webster has to do, he has to block into 1 and stall at the 41. You don't want to get
There
him
he
under
goes.
him. But looks like Wild got under Webster.
He's going to have a run out of turn 2. This might be the shot he needs right here to try to get the lead away.
Oh, I think Wild got loose right up off the corner. We'll have one last shot to get him in 3 and 4. Last chance.
Here he goes.
Oh, he's going to try the highest side. Never mind that. He stayed right behind him, but behind him, he might have a run on the front straightaway.
And out of turn 4, Webster's going to get up to the high side. Wild's going to go to the low side, and Delicato's going to spin. And to the line, Webster holds on and wins.
Wow, what a finish! Wow! Oh my goodness, what a job by Webster to pick his lines right in 3 and 4 and block out the hard-charging 41 of Christopher Wild. He picks up the win here at Homestead and goes 2 in a row.
That was awesome. Man, great job by Cody Webster. Had older tires than anybody else in this top 10 because the tires he just won on, he spun on 2 cautions ago, but somehow in some way that 9 car comes out a victor here, or a winner here at Homestead. That was an absolutely incredible finish.
That was amazing. Webster burns it down here on the front straightaway. Congratulations to him and that whole entire team for picking up a big win here tonight. He returns to, I think, this is his 2nd victory in this series. He picked it up at Chicagoland, and he picks it up here tonight at Homestead. He's seems as though Webster is winning on the same tracks that he won on last year. He won at Chicagoland, and he wins here tonight at Homestead, so who knows? Webster still might be a factor in for this championship battle.
Don't count him out at all. Unofficial results here tonight at Homestead. Cody Webster ends up your winner. Christopher Wild finishes where he started in 2nd. William Schmidt and Mitch Hobbs and Frank DeAngelis, great runs for all 3 of them here tonight. Brody Gardner ends up 6th. Good run for Michael Kenner there in 7th. Blaze Crawford in 8th. That's going to help him a bit in the points, perhaps. Colton Zimmer there in 9th. And rounding out your top 10, Garrett Hess in the 777.
Well, a nice finish by him outside the top 10. Seth Hood, Mark Frimpong, Joe Berge, Paul Granado round out the top 15. Dominic Howell, Henry Clappert, Latham Joyner, Harry Grindle, and Henry Tabor round out the top 20.
Nick Delicato, who we saw spin out of turn 4 on the final lap, ends up 21st, unfortunately. David Bachman right behind him. Dallas Mahan, who came into tonight 3rd in points, not the run he was looking for. Same can be said for Parker White. He's going to lose some ground at Chris for sure. Thomas Lloyd, Scott Yost, Mulrooney ends up 27th. Blake Kennedy, and then the 2 Maxes, Urick and Brady, round out your top 30.
Brown Lavin rounds out 31st. Brayson Collins, Kevin White Jr., Dylan Simmons, Hunter Johnson, Carson Poindexter, Sertajman, Noah Allison, Nick Miller, Peter Kenny round out the top 40. And the final 3 spots, Josh Patterson, Jackson Menchu, and Tyler Connors in the number 44. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned. There's more to come as we interview out the top 5 here for tonight. We welcome everybody back here live for tonight's event. iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series Miami 90 crowns a repeat winner for the first time this season. And rounding himself to the top of the board is that number 9 machine of Cody Webster. We'll go ahead and drag him into the booth here as we get ourselves situated. But congratulations to him. A great victory. And of course, as I said, a repeat winner for the first time this season, but, well, it was done by the man who won the championship last season. But Webster, my goodness, man, what a drive those final 4 laps to put yourself in position and, of course, pick up the big win here tonight at Homestead. Congratulations, man. First of all, first thoughts.
Honestly, I didn't think I was going to win. I didn't even know how to drive this track. I thought I was like 5th place at best. I got spun by not on purpose, but avoiding a wreck. Got spun. Somehow didn't get hit by the whole entire pack coming by me. Then I had to think about pitting after I spun, and I saw how many people pitted and didn't pit. So I chose to stay out, and then the caution just kind of helped me at the end, where I didn't have to worry about that many laps. And I thought I lost it when I tried to make the pass on William. I think a lap or 2 before I did. I don't know. I was all over the place. Once I got to the lead, I was like, oh, I really had to backpedal to turn 3 and 4 to the final lap to make sure Chris couldn't, charge at me. I was waiting for the bumper. He didn't give it to me. So I somehow made it work out. Some gain a little points on him. I don't know. I mean, I'll take it. I'm terrible here with this new tire model, so I've been saying it all over social media, so eventually I'll learn it, but I'm still getting wins, so I don't know how I'm doing it.
Yep, that's right. Again, the first repeat winner of the season goes to you, Webster. Again, huge for your point situation as well. I don't know how they're shaping out as of right now, but Webster, back in victory land yet again this season. What are you looking forward to coming on to the off week and such?
Well, the off week, definitely, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going away, so I get to enjoy myself a little bit. But aside from that, coming back, I don't know where we go to. I don't know the final track, like the final, 4 tracks we got? 5? 4? I don't even know how many we got left. I think 4. I don't know what they are, but I'm just going to go into every race and hope for the best. The one thing with this tire model, the tire sets, the laps we have, it's a lot of strategy, and I've been throwing Hail Marys at it lately, learning to just go for it, and paid off tonight. So I mean, honestly, the next 4 weeks, just keep it clean, keep my nose clean, stay out of wrecks, and hopefully me and Chris, because probably looks like I think everybody else that was ahead of me in points had a really bad night, so looks like me and Chris will probably be fighting it out to the end, so hopefully it'll be a good battle to the end.
All right, bud. 10-4. Congratulations on your second win of this season. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to take care for tonight?
I want to thank Proximity Racing, Rexford Engineering, Trey Shuttleworth Photography, Michael DiMaggio for making the paint scheme. I'm 2 for 3 with it, so good luck, I guess. And you for broadcasting, you for putting on this show, Dewey for helping you out also. So I appreciate it all, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, bud. 10-4. Cody Webster rounds himself out in victory lane here for tonight. We'll go ahead and see you coming to in a couple of weeks, bud.
You got it.
What a job by Cody Webster, as we're going to go ahead and drag in an SPM car to go ahead and get interviewed by the SPM owner himself, Christopher Weil, into the booth. Dewey, go ahead and take this one away.
Definitely not some bias here, but Chris got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, you ended up finishing where you started, so you only needed to end up getting 1 position tonight, and unfortunately you weren't quite able to get it, but still a really solid night overall. But first thoughts about how the race went?
Yeah, it was a fun race. It was a pretty tough setup to drive. It was loose. The bottom lane was the lane to go with, but you could still make the outside work on corner exit on someone, which was really nice because we saw that outside groove come in with the different tire strategies, and I thought I was on the right strategy at the end. I just came off 1 lap short.
Yeah, and like I said, still a great race for you overall, but you lead the points after 6 races, and Cody just mentioned that it may be looking like it's going to be you and him battling it out for the title, so what are you going to have to do to make sure you stay in front of that 9 and everybody else up there in points?
I guess I just have to finish in front of him instead of finishing directly behind him. He
Not
drove a
the
great
start.
race. I don't know how he found the grip in 3 and 4 on the last lap there. That was a great corner by him. I really wish I could have gotten the win, but Cody got the right strategy and he drove the wheels off of his car, so kudos to him.
Well, I guess they say second sucks, but second also helps you keep your points lead, so I guess
Yeah.
all was good overall. But before we let you go tonight, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
I want to once again thank my Schramm Poindexter Motorsports teammates. Brody Garner and I were trying to work the front there, and really, when we were on fresh tires and back in traffic, we both agreed to just follow each other through traffic and sort it out later, which is exactly what we did. And I'm just happy to have a clean race for once. I'm glad to actually get to the finish of one of these things.
Yeah, after the rough stretch you've had, second definitely will help turn that around. Christopher Weil, your runner-up here tonight. Hope to see you back for the rest of the weekend.
Oh yeah, see you then.
That was Christopher Weil, and at number 41, we'll go ahead and drag in the number 79, William Schmidt, who was a leader on that final restart, but unfortunate for him, he comes out third here for tonight. But otherwise, a very, very solid effort, Schmidt. Congratulations on your third place, leading 12 laps out of the scheduled 60 here for tonight. William, what do you have to take off tonight here?
I don't know how I did that. I just stayed out on old tires, and I guess it worked.
Yeah, that's right. It seems as though those cautions really played a factor in how the strategy went for you. You, of course, took the gamble to stay out that final run, and it nearly worked out. You were duking it out there with Webster and what was while there toward the end, and Mitch Hobbs. So, just talk to me about those final few laps.
Yeah, Mitch and I were in a call. We weren't trying to fight for a spot because we just wanted to get as far away from Webster as possible because we knew he was really fast, but he caught us anyway, so we just were all fighting for the lead, and then Weil ended up catching up, and it was a crazy experience.
That's right. You nearly picked up the win here tonight, coming home third after starting yourself all the way back in 31st position. William, congratulations on your good finish here for tonight. But before we let you go, any sponsors want to thank here?
Yeah, of course I want to thank Motorsport United and Side Drafting Productions for being with me, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, about 10-4. William Schmidt rounds himself out in third place after starting himself all the way back in 31st. Go ahead and see you coming to your next race, bud.
All right, thank you.
Put ourselves one position back to Mitch Hobbs in the number 89, and Dewey will go ahead and take this one away.
All right, Mitch, got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Definitely one of your better races this season. I believe your first top 5 so far. You had the lead with 3 laps to go, but unfortunately came up just short. Anything you could have done differently to maybe get the win?
At second, fourth place finish in ARCA, we're 2 for 2 on them. So definitely was an interesting race. Those cars were fun to drive because of how god-awful the setup was. It plowed like a dump truck when you're off the throttle, and there was no grip the second you got on it. So it was awful to drive, but so much fun at the same time. I mean, we won the tire roulette, in all honesty. We were not a top 5 car. Probably somewhere around 15th if it was true pace, but took tires, lap like 35-ish. I saw everyone pit around 45. We had 6-7 laps on the tires, and enough of a cushion where I knew we were golden, but, got a lap lead. Was just way too loose off turn 4. They could get to the throttle much better and quicker than we did. But, overall, I'll take it.
Yeah, we saw quite a few people end up getting loose out of turn 4 tonight, so I guess no different than a lot of the field. But, man, with the luck you've had recently, how much of a momentum boost is this for you as this season goes on?
I hope so. I've just put myself in really bad positions in a lot of the other races, but I think this kind of shows that truly if we get pace and strategy right, I can run in the top 5 and have a shot to win. So, Chicagoland, I'm hoping good for in the trucks. Bristol is a shit show, no matter how you put it, so we're going to see how that goes, and, maybe we'll squeak out another good finish this weekend.
Yeah, that'll remain to be seen, and that's why you should tune to MSTV to see what happens. But Mitch Hobbs rounded himself out here in 4th tonight. Any sponsors you want to thank here?
No real sponsors. I want to thank Schmidt though, because he did kind of tell me when that last restart was. So we got a really good jump, and congrats to Webster. I completely took him out, made him do a huge 360 in that Hunter Johnson wreck, and he came back and won the damn thing. So good job.
All right, Mitch Hobbs, 4th tonight. Hope to see you back here for the rest of the weekend and maybe get another good finish.
That was Mitch Hobbs in the number 89. We'll go ahead and drag ourselves back one more position to a man we haven't really talked about. Excuse me. To a person we haven't talked about a lot this whole entire season. Into the booth goes the number 69 of Frank DeAngelis. Congratulations, Frank, first off on your 5th place finish after starting yourself all the way back in 30th place, man. A great effort here to round yourself out of Homestead.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, toward the end, you decided to stay yourself out, and it nearly played off, but it seems as though you got bottled back in, traffic. Just walk me through those final 5-6 laps.
Yeah, first of all, that one caution where the top guys stayed out with under 10 to go. I regret pitting, because if I stayed out, I could have probably front ran, because I had 6-lap better tires. But in the last 5 laps, I was just trying to duke it out with other good people in the league, like Nick and Delicato. Shout out to his YouTube, at U2. It was him, I think, Marooney. But I somehow lucked into a 5th place finish after literally events coming to the line. So I'm just happy to finish the race finally.
That's alright, man. 10-4 on that. You run yourself out 5th here for tonight. Unfortunately, you're not in the picture for the championship standings. But you do find yourself, looks like, all the way back, up 8 spots, excuse me, up to 17th place. So that'll look good on your points resume on the ARCA series. But before we let you go, any sponsors you want to take care for tonight?
I'd like to thank Evo SimSport for being a good team, always giving me help. Good people. That's really it.
Alright, bud. 10-4. Frank DeAngelo surrounds himself out in 5th after starting himself all the way back in 30th. We'll go ahead and see you coming to your next race, bud.
Thank you.
That was Frank DeAngelis in the number 69. And that will do it here for tonight here at, Auto Club here at Miami for the Homestead Miami Speedway. iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Series, after 60 laps of racing, has crowned Cody Webster as our victor here for tonight's event. But we'll go ahead and hand it over to Dewey to walk you through how the weekend's going to go.
Well, Mitch mentioned it in his interview. We've got the Truck Series at Chicagoland on Friday night. The Cup Series will head itself over to Bristol for 250 laps. That is going to be something. And on Sunday night, the Cup Series, or not the Cup Series, the Xfinity Series will round itself out at Iowa, and then we'll be off for a week for Thanksgiving, so you can all enjoy some turkey or whatever you guys like to make on Thanksgiving. So thank you all for watching here tonight. We'll see you back on Friday.